and just introduce Jeremy Enns and Steve Gionis, who are, I guess, principals at GCD Insurance. Both of them got more than 25 years in the industry and have a great deal of experience in employee benefits. I signed up as soon as I became aware of this program. I think it was about 2.5 years ago. As we all experience in small practices and small business owners, healthcare costs just, skyrocket. At least mine were going up between 10 and 20% every year, regardless of my record and utilization and that kind of thing with a healthy group of employees. So made perfectly good sense to me. And since signing up, the first couple of years didn't go up at all. This last year, because of some of the risk actuarials, that kind of stuff that they can explain to you better if you want that information. They went up a little bit, still not to the degree they've gone up in the past. So I've been exceptionally happy with it. Both Steve and Jeremy kind of live locally. They're in the Tampa Bay area. They're staying here. They're not going to abandon anybody. So my experience has been great and wonderful, and I've saved some money. And it makes you feel a little bit better about what you're doing with your insurance policy when it's not skyrocketing every year as far as premiums go. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Jeremy and Steve.
Well, thanks, Dr. Ferrier. Appreciate that. And yeah, I'm Steve Gionis, and Jeremy Enns is with me, and we're with GCD Insurance. We're a private, independent insurance agency. We specialize in employee benefits. Both of us have been in the industry for quite some time. I've been in Tampa for about 30 years now. Started with Prudential Healthcare, was there for about 10 years when managed care was kind of first taking hold in the area, and learned the business from that perspective. We've owned the agency, our agency, for about 20 years. Like I said, we're independent. We look at all of the different options. Give you a little background just on health insurance and the way it works and why you see escalating costs in the group health insurance market. With the Affordable Care Act, the pricing for small group, and small group is defined as employer groups that are under 51 employees. The way the pricing works in the fully insured market is the rates are 100% based on the ages of the employees and the dependents who enroll in the plan. So there are no other factors that are taken into consideration in the fully insured market. It's whoever signs up. Older groups are going to be more expensive than the younger groups. And literally the pricing, if you have a group of 10 employees, every single employee and any dependent literally has a rate for the plan they've chosen for the person their age, and they composite it together and give you an average. But that's the basis of the pricing. It's the age. That's it. So you can sometimes have groups that are maybe a little bit older average age, but very healthy. It doesn't matter. They're rated priced the same as the group that's not healthy. And with that, you see, well, the other thing I'll add to that is that the barrier to entry to purchasing the plans is just you have to have a business and meet the participation requirements, which are somewhat more relaxed than they used to be. And so if you have a business of 4 employees and all 4 people have major medical conditions, they're allowed into the pool. And so with that, the prices have escalated through the last few years just because there are no barriers to entry to the plans. The carriers have come out with some new plans, products in the marketplace where they try to circumvent those rules, those ACA rules, Affordable Care Act rules, and they are able to look at the risk. Sometimes it's a bit cumbersome in the process you have to go through to qualify for those plans, but there are these products out there. The HCMA plan is a great alternative, and that's what we're here to talk about primarily today. Is what we've done is we've been able to work with Florida Blue, also Blue Cross Blue Shield, and put together an association plan of medical practices across the state of Florida and in Hillsborough County specifically. And by pulling together all the groups into this one plan and managing the costs, we've been able to keep costs more in check and offer a very competitive product. And this is only available to medical practices, and Jeremy's going to go into the nuts and bolts of these plans, but we are the sole representative of these plans in the Tampa Bay area. We work closely with the Hillsborough County Medical Association. So when practices come to us, again, we are an independent agency. We look at this very objectively. We're able to look at options that are in the marketplace, the HCMA plan option, which a lot of times is a very good alternative for you, these other risk-based plans, and help you find the best option for your practice and your organization. Dr. Ferrier mentioned, in a lot of cases, we've helped a lot of practices. The HCMO plan has been a very good alternative. It's well managed. The price increases have been more in check than what we've seen in the standard Affordable Care Act plans, the fully insured market, and even in the level 4 or the other risk-based market that I spoke of. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Jeremy to get into the nuts and bolts. But actually, one last thing before I do that, GCD Insurance, just to kind of give you an overview of what we do. We act, a large part of what we do is on the consulting side and helping you find the right option from the health insurance, dental insurance, vision insurance, all your benefits package, and helping you find the right carriers and the right plans. But in addition to that, we assist with compliance, human resources, benefits administration, benefits technology. And so we assist companies with all of those different areas because they touch employee benefits. And we're somewhat agnostic to the solutions in different areas when it comes to benefits technology, payroll. We're just there to kind of help you from a consultative basis to find the right option for your business. But again, those are areas that are important and they touch the actual health insurance plan. And so we become involved in that piece of the puzzle also. So with that said, I'm going to turn it over to Jeremy, and Jeremy's going to talk about the HCMA plan in a little more detail.
All right, great. Thanks, Steve. So I've gone ahead and pulled up my screen here so we can just kind of take a few minutes here to do an overview on the HCMA plan and talk specifically how this can be of benefit. And as Steve said, we've been involved now for about a year and a half with the HCMA as the dedicated broker for this product. And we've definitely had some good conversations with groups and found groups that it's been a benefit and gotten them enrolled. And so as we evaluate the options, this is definitely for a physician group, something that I think every physician group in the Tampa market should at least take an opportunity to evaluate and see if it's going to be a right fit for you. Just a little bit of a background on the program itself. This is not something new. This was established nearly 40 years ago up in the Ocala area, in County. And from there, after they had success for a number of years, then it expanded. And so there's a total of 12 counties that are in the state of Florida that now offer a similar program to this. So if a physician practices in one of those 12 counties, then they have the opportunity to participate in the program. The background on it is that it was developed by physicians for physicians. And so with that mindset, the whole idea is, as Dr. Ferrier said, is as a practice, if you're in the small group market, the under 50 market, this is an opportunity to band together and get economies of scale, get the benefit of a healthy large group and get more advantageous contract and pricing. So that's the underlying idea. And so as part of it, there is a health questionnaire that we review, mainly for the sole purpose of keeping the risk base, favorable so that all the physician practices can benefit by it. There's up to 11 different plans that are available that are offered. It's underwritten by Florida Blue. And as already mentioned by both Dr. Ferrier and Steve, is that the rate increases have been better than the traditional marketplace. And I think in particular, as we move ahead, that's going to just further improve, and so as the prices in the traditional market continue to escalate and these stay flat or even possibly go down, it's going to create a greater opportunity for physician practices. One of the things you'll see under the bullet point talking about rate stability, just in the last couple of months, we as a group of the 12 counties in the state of Florida that participate in this program were able to negotiate with Florida Blue a new preferred contract under what's called a minimum premium contract. And with this, it meant for an 8% reduction in the administrative cost from where it was previously. It also will allow that if the plans continue to run favorably, that there can be monies that are utilized to either reduce, mitigate renewals, and or even offer some premium holidays to those that are participating on the program. So much different than the traditional market where you have a group plan. If you're under 50, even really under 100, you don't ever see any claims experience. You don't know how you're running, whether the company's making money off of your business or losing money. And when they're making money, the insurance carrier is keeping it. So the whole concept here is that as there's profits built into the program, that the physician practices are the ones that reap the rewards of that. Okay, this just outlines that it's been around since 1981, the listing of the counties that are involved. Something of note, there's over 300 practices statewide that participate, and there's over 6,000 members. So it's a very sustainable program, and it's growing, and that's one of the keys to the success. And we've had some recent nice wins for physician groups that are currently going through the enrollment process right now. Okay, in our county here in Hillsborough, slide's a little old, so we're probably approaching more than double this in terms of number of members. And over the last 6 years, the increases have been below the 10% mark. Yeah, I'm not going to go line by line on this, but this is a snapshot. As I said, there's 11 different plans that are available to be provided to you and your employees. So these are specific plans. So if you were to come to Steve and me and say, I want a specific plan, or I want to change in a deductible or a copay, unfortunately, we don't have that flexibility. But I think what you'll find when you look at these plans, one of the differences versus if we were to go get a traditional quote from one of the carriers outside of the HCMA for you is the deductibles. Most plans that we typically see for employer groups have $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 deductibles, where you'll find on this platform that you're looking at deductibles as low as even $500. It's unheard of. It's not something that you're going to be able to obtain outside of the HCMA in a traditional small group marketplace. So it's going to be favorable for your employees. That's going to be something that'll jump out at them immediately. And then obviously you have the copay and favorable coinsurance of 80% or 70% on these particular plans. The physicians themselves have 4 plans that are offered. Typically, we find most physicians, after we talk with them, are going to be interested in this from the standpoint that these are high deductible plans where you can have an HSA bank account, and it allows you to have money set aside on a pre-tax basis. And so that's going to allow you to have some additional savings by setting funds aside in the tax savings account to use for your medical expenses. And we almost, not always, but on a high percentage of times find for the physicians themselves, it's going to be a very favorable situation with the high deductible plans versus the traditional group plan that they have. And that gives you a quick but pretty good overview on the platform. I know one of the questions that came through on the chat was what size groups are available. So again, this is for physician practices. So there has to be one or more physicians within the practice. And then in addition to that, with staff, the combined number of physician and staff has to be 3 or more in order to be eligible. So, and we get calls, I'd say almost monthly with, you know, startup practices or sole proprietors. So once a physician has 2 or more full-time employees that are part of their practice, and that all 3 of them are going to sign up, then that would make you eligible to join the program. There's really no upper end, but we typically find, you know, the 100 employee mark is generally, you know, a great fit for this program. And we are currently enrolling a group with about 200 employees, and their savings was over 6 figures moving from the traditional group market to the HCMA program. So we're very excited about that. So with that, I know we're approaching 6:30, and maybe I'll just open it up to see if anybody has any questions, and then we can always you know, get the presentation piece sent out to you. And then certainly if somebody's interested in getting a proposal, you know, we'll be glad to do that. My email is jeremy@gcdinsurance.com. So if you want to email me directly, or you can email the HCMA Elka, and she can forward your information, and we'll be glad to help you out.
Well, thanks, Jeremy. I would also be happy to answer anybody's questions about my personal experience in the whole process, which has been nothing but positive. So, but anyone who's on the call is welcome to give me a holler at my office, or Elkin could give you contact. My email is simple. It's ed@drferrier.com with no period after the doctor.
There is one question came through, so asking about the premiums. So it is a similar to a traditional group marketplace where it's predicated on the ages of the employees. So in order to be able to give you, you know, a price point on it, we would have to have your census. And again, just email me, and then I can send over to you what information is needed so that we can obtain a proposal for you on it. Any other questions or comments? Okay, well, I think if there's no questions, obviously, again, if you think of something later, feel free to reach out, and I'll make sure for those that have participated that Elka, you know, sends you a follow-up email, and then that way you have our contact information, and we'll be glad to you know, engage with you further. So appreciate your time, and hope everybody has a good evening. Thank you, Dr. Ferrier.
Thank you, Jeremy. Thank you, Steve. And like Jeremy welcomed everybody to you just reach out, and they're very approachable and are happy to answer questions. And again, I would encourage you to consider signing up for the program because I think it's great. So appreciate it. Thank you, Elka. Thank you, guys. And we'll talk to you soon.
Okay, very good. Have a good night.
Thanks. Good night.
Bye.